Constitutional Court's landmark ruling against urban gentrification and eviction practices. In a pivotal judgment by South Africa's Constitutional Court, the rights of long-standing residents in Cape Town's Woodstock area were fortified against the tides of gentrification that threatened their displacement. The case of Charnel Commando and others versus the City of Cape Town spotlighted the controversial eviction processes tied to urban development and rising rental costs, issuing a resounding verdict that could reshape urban housing policies nationwide. The origins of the dispute trace back to the sale of property on Bromwell Street to Woodstock Hub, intending to erect high-rent residential units. The legacy tenants, some of whom held intergenerational leases, faced eviction, leading to a court battle emphasizing their rights under Section 26 of the Constitution, the right to housing. Initially ruled in favor of the residents by the High Court, this decision was later overturned by the Supreme Court. However, the Constitutional Court's intervention refocused the discourse on the city's duty to provide reasonable housing solutions within the urban center, criticizing Cape Town's exclusionary practices as unreasonable and indicative of a misplaced set of priorities. In their judgment, the court lambasted the city's plan to relocate the residents 15 kilometers away to Philippi, highlighting the irrationality in the city's differential treatment between residents of informal settlements and tenants affected by gentrification. Ultimately, it mandated the city to offer temporary accommodation within Woodstock, Salt River, or other inner-city areas, setting a robust precedent for protecting vulnerable groups amidst urban development pressures. This ruling not only supports the specific individuals involved, but also issues a broader challenge against spatial apartheid, a form of displacement and segregation haunting South African cities decades into democracy. The court's decision underscored a pressing need for policies promoting spatial integration and equal urban living conditions. For residents like the Commandos and other families rooted for generations in neighborhoods such as Woodstock, this judgment represents a beacon of hope. It illuminates the path toward more inclusive urban planning and real estate practices, ensuring that city developments enhance rather than erase community fabrics. As urban centers like Cape Town continue to expand and modernize, this ruling will serve as a critical reference point for future disputes involving gentrification and housing rights, advocating for a balanced approach that honors both developmental aspirations and human rights. Thank you for choosing Satori News.